Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a quick process video for you today. I am working on day 1 of Who You Are from Bythewell4god. This month I am working in an altered book. If you haven't seen that video, I will put the link to that in the description. And I also kind of have a head start on this day because I have that stenciling over there on the left that was just done with that sunflower stencil and some Distress Oxide inks. And I'm going to add this paper from By the Well over here on the right, and I'm just going to trim it down just ever so slightly to fit in this page. I want to make sure that you can still tell that this is an altered book that I'm working in, and so I'm going to take advantage of the fact that these papers are almost the same size, but I want to just take off a little bit here down at the bottom so that I can try to keep as much of that the title of the hymnal. You can't really read it, but I just wanted to kind of have part of it up there. So anyway, I'm going to erase my little mark there that I made, and you can see that I'm leaving kind of a border around this paper. And the reason for that is because I want to, like I said, I want you to be able to tell that this is an altered book, but because these papers are so similar in color because of the patina from the age of this book, I did add some archival ink and ground espresso around there just to kind of help pop that off. And then I'm pulling out a few things that I think are going to work with this day. One of the things that I'm really loving are the title starters. It just helps pull everything together. And then I pulled out the strips of long washi. And then over there you have on the right of the screen, you can see all my flashcards and all my journaling cards where I have all my notes and everything written out. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do there for a second. And the reason is I really wanted to have a pocket for all of these journaling cards. There's just a lot of scripture this month. And so I'm going to make a little tuck spot out of this pattern paper. So I'm just cutting a little slit here to get me started at the left side of this page, and then I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and just go around these sunflowers, and this will create a little tuck spot for me to put all of my notes in. There are a lot, like I said, this month, and so I need a good place to kind of tuck them all. One of the things that's really important to me when I'm working through these kits is to write out all the scripture, whether I do that in a traveler's notebook or in the actual journal that I'm working through. It's just part of the process of how I study through them. So I want to make sure that I have a place to keep them. And I'm just adding a little bit of that ground espresso archival ink around that image as well, just because I cut it so you can, it's obviously a white inside. So that will just help that blend in a little bit more. And so I'm just going to glue this down. I'm using some art glitter glue. It dries really quick, so I really love this glue. I'm putting a pretty generous amount on here, specifically because this is really thirsty paper. This old paper just kind of sucks up all of the ink and the adhesive, so I want to make sure that I have enough glue there. And then just making sure that I'm not actually putting glue on the part that I need to pop open. And you can see how that's going to work, where I'm going to tuck my journaling cards right back behind there. I'm using that side kind of for the bigger ones, and then I'll put the flashcards on the other side. And I have this verse from this day. We're talking about being a friend of God on this day, and that's part of who we are, that we can be called a friend of God, and we can be called beloved by him. And so that verse, which is typed out on those little labels, I absolutely love those labels with the verse written out on them. Big fan of those. I hope they keep doing those. But anyway, so I want to use that over there on the right side because it's in this devotional day, but it's red and everything else that I have on my page is yellow. So I'm going to work a little bit here to kind of pull in some other colors into what is a pretty neutral background so far. So adding just a little bit of archival ink around that label up there, and then I will glue that up in that top right hand corner. And you can see I put that washi strip over there on the left side. It had a little bit of red in it, trying to pull that red over to the left side. And it also very conveniently covered up an error that I made when I was stenciling. So you can always fix things. And then I wanted to pull in kind of all of the colors, especially on the first day of the journal. That's just how my brain works. And so I pulled out this little mini mini file folder, sorry. And I really liked the design of it and the fact that it had kind of all of the colors there. And then I'm just going to glue this down. I did glue this down as a pocket, so I glued down the two sides of the file folder as well, so that all my little flashcards can tuck in there. And you can see I have pulled out a stamp up there in the left-hand corner. That is the Big Idea number stamp, and I will be using that for the day. I'm using that with my archival ink again, and I'm having to kind of work with my ink pad because I need to re-ink it, which I just re-inked it not that long ago, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, just stamping that down, letting that, just holding it there for a second to let that ink transfer over. And then I will pull the day, the title starter for this day, which is Friend and Beloved. And that kind of leaves everything there, except I was really kind of feeling like there was an empty space right next to that sunflower. I did add a little bit of shadowing. I forgot about that. This is a Tombow marker that just happens to be very similar in color. So it was just a nice shadow. And then I just added a little thought for this day, and that's it. So if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.